Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. and today we at Faction. This is 5 Most Mysterious Unsolved Cases number 6, part 6. We're gonna get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, hit subscribe button, comment, thing down below. Let's go.
Five Mysterious Unsolved Cases, Part 6.
Brandon Swanson.
On May 14, 2008, 19-year-old Brandon Swanson disappeared at around 2 a.m. To celebrate the final day of their classes, Brandon and his classmates held a party. On the way back from the festivities, at around midnight, Brandon accidentally drove into a ditch with his vehicle and became stuck. He allegedly only had a couple of drinks, not enough to account for poor driving or disorientation. After attempting to contact friends to no avail, Brandon called his father. He informed his father that he was well and safe. He told his parents that he was close to the town of Lind, a short commute from Marshall, Minnesota, where the 3 family members lived. His parents drove to the location and flashed their headlights to alert Brandon's attention. He reported being unable to see their lights. Brandon then flashed his lights, but his parents too were unable to see anything. Throughout this entire period, Brandon and his father were in communication via their cell phones. Brandon then made the decision to walk to a friend's house in Lind. He remained on the telephone with his father. During the call, he allegedly crossed fields as a shortcut. After around 47 minutes of speaking to one another, his father heard Brandon say, "Oh sh*," before the line went dead. His parents claim that it sounded as if Brandon had slipped, fell, or dropped his phone. Brian Swanson tried to call his son back several times, but the line rang out. He then searched for his son, but could find no trace of him.
So here's a wonder I have. He was crossing random fields. I wonder if he crossed onto someone's property who saw him, right? And the oh shit came from and got caught. Maybe because we've seen people do this, they point a weapon, defend their property, and it just causes maybe someone takes his life for that reason. It could be that he fell into a swamp, and that's why he couldn't use the phone anymore, because his phone, was in a swamp and couldn't find it in the dark.
Authorities were able to locate Brandon's car via cell phone records. Oddly, the car was nowhere near where Brandon had reported it to be. It was, in fact, 20 miles north of his alleged location. The farmland and woods in the area all look very similar, which could explain his confusion. Strangely, some sources also claim that all of Brandon's car doors were left open. Searches of the nearby Yellow Medicine River have failed to produce any clues, and only one potential scent has been found, a 6-mile trip from Brandon's last known location. Partially because of where and when he disappeared, police have been unable to uncover any clues or evidence. Rainy weather can tamper with crime scenes, and much of the surrounding land is privately owned by farmers, so cannot be searched without a warrant. The search for Brandon has included hundreds of volunteers.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a farmer caught him, maybe shot him or something, and they hit his body, they put his body away, buried it, something like that, because it was on their property and they didn't really want to get police involved or anything like that. And maybe they thought he was just a guy trying to break in, and then after that he got they've just gone about their business, not really caring that the person's gone missing.
Along with sniffer dogs, airplanes, and helicopters. Bizarrely, Brandon had driven home on small gravel roads instead of opting for the more direct route along Highway 68. It is unknown why he drove this route in particular. Most theorists speculate.
I think someone said in the comments, since he was drinking, he probably did that to avoid being pulled over. No police would be around to pull him over. That's probably why.
that Brandon either drowned after falling into the river or froze to death when trying to find shelter on farmland. Others fear that he may have been kidnapped or murdered, or decided to fake his own disappearance. However, the case remains unsolved.
Now, I don't know if any of these cases have been solved. This is from years ago, this video. I think, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that, 5 years ago. So, some of these might have been solved. If they have been, let me know, because I don't keep track of that stuff.
In the fall of 2011, 26-year-old Emma Philippoff moved to Victoria, BC from Perth, Ontario. By November 2012, she went missing, never to be seen again. During the latter part of this period, she began sleeping at Sandy Merriman House, a shelter for vulnerable and impoverished women. She had also purchased a van, which she used for both transport and as accommodation. On November 23rd, Emma called her mother to announce that she wanted to return home. Teary and upset, she continued to call her mother in the period leading up to November 28th. During their final call at 4:30 a.m., she told her mother, quote, "I don't know how I can face you," and "Don't come, Mom, not today." When her mother decided to do just that, arriving at 11 p.m., she found her daughter wasn't in the shelter. No one has heard from her since. Friends reported that she had been feeling stressed and upset, claiming that, according to Emma, an unknown figure had been harassing and worrying her. Journal entries written by Emma referenced that she may have had a stalker. She had reportedly become distant and frightened, with an apparent aversion to non-female company. According to her own writing and shelter staff, she was isolated, paranoid, depressed, and felt a compulsion to escape. On the day of her disappearance, Emma visited the same 7-Eleven store on 2 separate occasions. The first time she purchased a $200 prepaid credit card. The second time she purchased a prepaid cell phone. CCTV images show her peering out of the store windows into the parking lot. She appears to be looking for someone or something.
Okay, so this is... To my memory, this is not solved, this one, because I'm pretty sure it's on the recent, top 15 unsolved mystery, video evidence. I believe this one was on it.
CCTV from a YMCA in Victoria, shot 5 days before her disappearance, shows Emma entering and leaving the building multiple times within a 14-minute period. She looks as if she may be avoiding someone. After calling a cab to pick her up from near the shelter, Emma asked to be driven to the airport. She then changed her mind, claiming to have insufficient money, asking instead to be dropped off in the exact same spot she was picked up. Becoming paranoid after hearing the cab dispatch radio, she allegedly asked the driver, quote, "Why is there noise coming out of that?" Minutes later, she was seen standing barefoot on a street corner.
Yeah, this is someone who definitely was going through some mental health thing and was going through complete paranoia. Because you're going through paranoia when you hear just a little radio noise and it's just freaking out, trying to figure out what's going on.
The acquaintance who spotted her, Dennis Quay, claimed that she was looking shifty and paranoid, and that she was constantly looking around her. He then called the police, who spoke with her in person outside of the Empress Hotel, but decided that she was not a threat to herself or anyone else. She told officers that she was not suicidal. They released her. This was her last known sighting. Her van was found in the parking lot of the Chateau Victoria Hotel and included many of her essential belongings, including her passport and laptop. 2 potential suspects are linked to the case. One man, a driver of a white van, attempted to use Emma's prepaid credit card at a gas station. He claimed to have found it by the side of the road. Another man, named Julian Huard, was a former friend of Emma. Julian had previously, via his own admission, been stalking Emma in her original hometown of Perth. After she moved from Perth to Victoria, he did so too, a few months later. He was allegedly infatuated with Emma. Both of these suspects were questioned, polygraphed, and released. In May 2014, a man entered a clothes store in British Columbia holding one of Emma's missing person posters. He told an employee that Emma was his girlfriend, claiming that rather than being missing, she simply wanted to be left alone. CCTV footage of this encounter was released to the public to no avail. In 2016, Emma's brother and mother were found guilty of money laundering in addition to drug and weapons offenses. This case is thought to be completely separate from Emma's disappearance. Speculation around what happened to Emma include theories related to suicide, homicide, kidnapping, and a planned escape. However, no one can be sure of the truth. In 2014, experienced hiker Ken...
We know this one. This is the M Cave guy. This is the guy who went looking for the infamous M Cave and somehow just vanished. And has never been seen since.
Kenny Veach posted a comment on YouTube about a mysterious cave he'd found in the Nevada desert. He claimed that the cave, located near Nellis Air Force Base, was shaped like a perfect capital M and, upon entry, had caused his body to intensely and violently vibrate. Terrified and confused, he then left the area. Not prepared to be beaten, he set out to relocate the cavern and explore it further. He claimed that this was the only cave he'd ever feared, but that he was determined to find it. He was not a man to be scared easily, often hiking in dangerous territory with meager supplies. He had also had plenty of experience handling deadly wild animals. In a video he filmed on the second hike, he oddly claimed that he was being watched by a mysterious black ram. In this trip, he was unable to find the cave. Fired up by YouTube users and his own sense of adventure, he decided to try again, this time arming himself with a gun. One anonymous YouTube user told Kenny in a comment, quote, "No, don't go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." Despite the dangers, he set out on November 10th. He never returned.
What did that person know that that guy did it? What did they know? They were trying to warn him, but like, what did they know?
A search could only find his cell phone, which was discovered near an abandoned mine shaft. He had been carrying no GPS, as was his custom while hiking. Speculation around his fate is rife. Most claim that he may simply have fallen victim to the elements. His hikes indeed were intense, with Kenny himself claiming that it often took his body 3 days or more to recover from these arduous treks. This hike in particular was harsh, remote, unpredictable, and replete with danger. He may also have committed suicide. He and his family suffered from a history of depression and mental illness. He had reportedly told his girlfriend that, if he decided to commit suicide, no one would be able to find him. Others speculate that he may have ran from his life to start afresh somewhere new. The most interesting speculation is based on Kenny's claims of the cave's effect on his body. Nellis Air Force Base is linked to many odd conspiracy theories of military experiments, subterranean tunnels, and secret research projects. Area 51, the most famous top-secret military base, is itself relatively close to the site. The bizarre case remains a mystery. In 2017, 27-year-old Polish woman Magdalena Żuk embarked on a solo vacation to Egypt and never returned home. Magdalena had previously booked a stay at a resort in Marsa Alam for her and her boyfriend Marcus, whose passport, unknown to Magdalena, had expired. She therefore set off on April 25th to take the trip alone, after unsuccessfully attempting to sell the tickets over Facebook. From the beginning of the trip, she mysteriously sent odd messages to her family. These included questions such as, "Where are you?" and requests including, "Come to me." The messages were sent from the cell phone of Mahmoud K., an employee of a travel agency. Her own phone was switched off. Magdalena eventually called her family. While talking with her
I'm gonna keep my theory right now. I know the story, but I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself for right now.
sister, she purportedly claimed that someone had put something in her drink and she was speaking incoherently. On Friday morning, just over 48 hours after her arrival, tourists found her unconscious in her hotel. Staff recorded her and sent the footage to her family. The video shows Magdalena curled up in a ball. She was then taken to a local hospital. Upon arrival, one doctor claimed that they were unable to treat mental illness. Another later claimed that she would not leave the car, but footage shows her walking towards the hospital. However, she was not treated there.
Part of me wonders if this is the case of someone taking advantage of her, right? She drugs her, takes advantage of her. And her brain knows something happened. Knows, probably got ripped or something. And it knows it happened, but doesn't know who did it. So, this is a story of someone who might have just become paranoid of everyone. Can't trust anyone because doesn't want whatever happened to her to happen again.
On Saturday, Magdalena was escorted by a hotel staff member to an airport. She was refused the right to board as she was considered to be too ill. Some reports claim that she was screaming, shouting, and taking off her clothes. Upon returning to the hotel, the staff would not allow her to check in. She could not find an alternate hotel. Staff from the original hotel then placed Magdalena on a video call with her boyfriend. In the video, Magdalena utters a number of strange and disturbing statements.
Myszko, powiedz mi, co się stało. Skarbie, nie bój się, powiedz mi, co się stało, proszę cię. Madziu moja. Aniołku, nie bój się, powiedz mi, co się dzieje. Powiedz mi, nic się nie bój.
هنشوف هي لسه يعني لو كده هي مثلا لو صاحبها دول بيهديها بقول لها تكون لغايه لما اجي انا بكره فهي شكلها هتهدى يعني هو الفندق فاكر ان هي مثلا هتعمل حاجه ولا اي حاجه.
Skarbie, Maciek cię zabierze, dobrze? Rozumiesz? Skarbie, słuchasz mnie?
So this is an interesting situation. So I'm going because someone brought up the point. She's not filming it. Someone else is. There's almost as a situation where this is a girl who had no control of anything that happened. From the moment she got there. From the beginning of her trip to the end, till whatever happens, she never was in control of anything that happened. And it's very weird. It's a very strange situation. It's a very strange story.
Pamiętasz Maćka Solczaka? Tego z brodą? To on po ciebie przyjedzie. On będzie po ciebie rano. Dobrze? Myszko? Ale co robią? Co robią? Powiedz mi. Zabierzemy cię. Maciek już...
See, this is the thing with her, right? This is the thing. Is he's trying to get information. He's trying his damnedest. He's trying his damnedest to get the information from this girl. But she's not saying anything. Not fully. I think the reason, because she doesn't know, even the hotel employees, who probably have nothing to do with what happened to her. She doesn't trust them. So she doesn't want to spill too much. And she's trying not to give too much away, but she's trying to give him very little clues. Not much to work off of. But in her mind, she's paranoid as shit right now. Scared to death.
Po ciebie leci, ale co oni robią? Kochanie, nie bój się mówić. Słucham?
في الاخر تلاقي زوج راجل الاب.
Możesz mówić, śmiało, mów do mnie.
See, it's that thing. Can't talk. She can't talk. She won't talk to that. She doesn't. She can't. She doesn't want them to. She doesn't want to talk around people because she probably thinks if they know what I know, that I know what happened to me, they might take my life or something like that. Like, she's paranoid and scared as shit. Probably has a reason to be.
Mów do mnie, kochanie, i nie bój się. Myszko, ja będę miał na to dowód. Ja to mam nagrywane na drugim telefonie. Powiedz mi, co się tam stało. Nie bój się, tylko mi powiedz. Ja muszę to mieć nagrane.
Nie da, nie widzę, że to może było tyle, to nic nie da, to nic nie da, to nic.
Kochanie, ja jutro po ciebie będzie jutro po ciebie Maciek, tylko mi powiedz, co się stało.
Przepraszam.
Co się stało? Powiedz mi, proszę cię. Słucham?
Nie do pracy. Ja nie wrócę stąd.
Wrócisz stąd. Wrócisz. Kochanie, co się stało? Powiedz mi, co się stało.
Nie mogę mówić, przepraszam.
Musisz powiedzieć mi, skarbie, proszę cię.
Ja nie, to nic nie da.
Ale powiedz mi, ja to muszę wiedzieć. Ja to muszę wiedzieć, żeby cię chronić, rozumiesz? Powiedz mi, proszę cię.
After being questioned by her boyfriend further, Magdalena mysteriously utters the letter M as a response. The significance of this is unknown. The letter could refer to Marcus, her boyfriend, Mahmoud, Magdalena herself, or something else entirely.
Co się stało? Mów. Powiedz śmiało, szybko, będziemy mieli to z głowy.
Who's the guy they're sending to go get her? That could be it. Could be the guy. I don't remember what the guy's name is that runs the employee from the travel thing who sent random text. Could be him. I think he might have started with M. I think it's between those two because the guy they're sending to go get her off the plane name happens to start with M.
Co M? Co M? Powiedz mi, nie bój się. Popatrz się na mnie i mi powiedz.
طيب ماركوس.
Yeah, Muhammad. Muhammad is the M. Muhammad is the M. 100%. Muhammad is the M. That would be the first thing I'm like, who's the M? I've been like, who's all around her start with M? Muhammad. Muhammad was the only one that's by her.
Powiedz.
طيب ماركوس.
Myszko.
ماركوس. Cześć. Markus, halo,
No, słucham.
witam.
Halo?
Wydaj mi tu strata czasu. Ja będę dzwonił teraz znowu do ambasady tutaj w Egipcie, dobrze?
No dobrze, a możesz poprosić Magdę, żeby włączyła telefon?
Magda, włączy telefon, bo Markus dzwoni się do ciebie. Włączy twój telefon po prostu. Daję teraz okej, dobrze.
Yeah, Muhammad is my suspect. Muhammad is 100% my suspect here. Muhammad, what did you do? Because I think you did something.
The staff then took Magdalena back to the hospital. She refused to be examined. Footage from the hospital shows her lying on the floor before attacking the people around her.
I wonder if there was like anyone she actually trusted there. Anyone who trusts who was not Muhammad. Because I bet if they did and they left them alone, they could get answers. But I feel like because Muhammad was always there, everywhere she went, she couldn't talk to nobody. This is insane. This is such a painful struggle she's putting up. She is scared to death right now. In this hospital, she is scared to death of something. But no one knows what caused her to be this terrified.
She was then taken to a room and tied to a bed. When the nurse untied Magdalena to let her use the toilet, she allegedly jumped out of a second-story window, injuring herself in the process. She was subsequently taken to a larger hospital before dying the following day. The case is considered to be a murder in Poland, but a suicide in Egypt. Some investigative sources claim that Magdalena's injuries are not in keeping with a voluntary leap, suggesting that she may have been drugged and thrown out of the window. Most speculation points toward Mahmoud, who, according to one source, has a reputation for attempting to drug women.
I mean, this guy is 100% my suspect. I don't care what the situation. I don't remember what his name is. I said Muhammad. Apparently he's Monroe or something like that. Whoever he is, this guy on this phone is my #1 suspect right now.
Magdalena's family also believe that he is to blame.
Yep.
Others speculate that Magdalena's boyfriend may have asked her to smuggle drugs into Egypt or to sell her body.
What?
Further theories relate to mental illness and schizophrenia.
Hold on. Why on earth would he send her to smuggle drugs? I doubt. I 100% doubt. But whatever. Why would he send her there to sell her body for? What type of stupid is that? That theory is ridiculous. That theory is just one of them theories where you're trying to put them in the blame and not actual people. I bet Egyptian people have that theory.
Autopsies have suggested that there was no foul play. Investigations continue.
That's bad. I wonder if there's anything else to that story, because that seems like that's a story that seems to have a lot of things that could be discussed.
After attending a party on September 8, 2017, 19-year-old Kanika Jenkins was reported missing.
Oh, I know this one. This is the girl that ended up in the freezer. This is the one who walked into a freezer, apparently. Quotations. The reason I say apparently, because how the heck, there's something, this story is one of them ones that doesn't add up to me.
Having been celebrating on the 9th floor of the Crowne Plaza O'Hare Hotel in Chicago, her dead body was found just before 1 a.m. on September 10th. It was discovered in a walk-in freezer in the hotel, having allegedly been there for over 20 hours. Kanika was discovered lying on her side, face down, with her right shoe removed and a small cut on her bare foot. She was wearing the same clothing in which she had been last seen, though her shirt was pulled up to reveal her breasts. Graphic images of the scene show that the freezer contained no food. Police began their investigation hours after Kanika was reported missing. Had they interfered quicker, she could have potentially been saved. CCTV footage from the night of the party shows Kanika staggering and stumbling around the hotel. She appears to be very drunk.
If I remember correctly, and I bet you they'll talk about it, I think her mother goes to the hotel to try to get this, look at security footage. See if we can figure out where she is, because no one knows where she is. Let's see if she left. Let's see if she's still there. And for some reason, the hotel refused. And it wasn't until police got involved they did. But they would have done it. They would have found her. So it's hard to not put people at blame, even if it isn't that she purposely got thrown into the freezer. If it somehow was an accident, it's hard to say. It's hard to not say that if a hotel and would have done something quicker, or police would have done something quicker, she could have been found. If anyone put some effort in besides her mother, she could have been found. I'm sorry, I should be laughing, but when drunk people run into things, I just have a tendency to laugh. I know a couple people who run into stuff when they're drunk, and I find it funny as hell. But yeah, this, I shouldn't have laughed. I apologize.
Though police have been working on the speculation that Kanika walked into the freezer of her own accord, her family believe that she may have been sexually assaulted and murdered. The freezer is located in a part of the hotel which is undergoing reconstruction, meaning that she had no reason to be there. The double doors which provide access to the freezer are made of steel, so Kanika would have perhaps struggled to open them of her own accord, especially given her drunkenness. Friends report that, at around 3 a.m., Kanika realized her cell phone and car keys were missing. Her friends then went to look for her belongings, successfully finding them. When they returned, Kanika had disappeared. After failing to find her, her friends left, taking Kanika's car and cell phone with them. They contacted Kanika's mother to report her missing. In a video posted online after her disappearance, hotel visitors and staff chat during the party. At one point, a high-pitched noise is audible before some music begins. Many people believe that this is Kanika screaming or pleading for help, and that the music is played to cover up the sound. This video was filmed by a hotel employee, but reposted by Monifa Shelton, a friend of Kanika. CCTV footage from directly in front of the freezer has gone unreleased. Motion sensor cameras seem to indicate that no one entered the freezer area in the hours before and after Kanika did so. How and why Kanika entered the freezer remains unknown, as does the role of any potential foul play. The case remains under investigation.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all for the next one.